Hi friends. Today's case is a doozy. It involves a secret marriage between a 92-year-old and someone 40 years younger than him. And of course that leads to family conflict and a resulting court case. Listen to the end to hear what the judge decided. Let me share the details with you because elder abuse matters. Donald was a 92-year-old widower, and he made the acquaintance of a woman, Joanne, who was in her 50s. They met in a seniors club where Donald was a regular attendee. Over time, they became friends, and in less than a year or so, Joanne began renting a room in Don's house. As part of the rental agreement that was entered into, Joanne was to pay $100 per month and do some cooking and cleaning. Not long after she moved in, however, Don's 3 sons became suspicious of the increasing influence that Joanne was exerting over their father. Only months after she had moved in, Don apparently signed a handwritten memorandum which gave Joanne the privilege of living in his home until 1 year after his death. The 1-year term was later crossed out and initialed, giving Joanne the privilege of living in the home for the duration of her lifetime and at the expense of the estate. Don's withdrawals from his bank account also began to increase in both frequency and amount. Joanne then made an appointment with a marriage commissioner, and her daughter and son-in-law were to attend as witnesses. The marriage was not performed, however, as the son-in-law apparently had a change of heart about acting as a witness. So Joanne then made another appointment with a different marriage commissioner. On this occasion, the limousine driver and the additional taxi cab driver acted as witnesses. Don advised his granddaughter of the marriage when she came to visit him the day after the wedding. Then Don proceeded to draft a new will, appointing his new wife as executor and giving to her the house and the furniture and all the rest of his estate. A capacity assessment was conducted shortly thereafter, and one of Don's sons brought an application to declare the marriage a nullity on the basis of Don's lack of mental capacity to marry, or alternatively, that Don was unduly influenced by Joanne, such that he was not acting on his own initiative. Of course, it went to court, and the court noted that at the time of the marriage, Don told the marriage commissioner that he believed the marriage was necessary in order for him to avoid placement in a nursing home, which shows evidence of undue influence. There was also evidence of alienation by Joanne because she removed Don's family pictures from his home and she interfered with planned family gatherings. Joanne was also accused of speaking for Don and advising him against answering his son's questions, and it appeared that she had written documents on Don's behalf. Not only were all the assessing doctors unanimous in their finding that Don lacked the capacity to marry, but they also found that he had significant deficiencies which prevented him from effectively considering the consequence of his marriage on his family and the estate. As a result, the marriage was declared null and void by the judge, and the court found it unnecessary to decide the issue of undue influence. With the marriage declared null, Don's previous will was back in effect, and his family returned to being heirs. Thankfully, this case was settled to recognize that predatory marriages should be declared invalid. Friends, it kind of takes my breath away that someone can take over another's life so completely and so quickly as in this matter. It sure appears that Joanne was doing some gold digging by moving in with Don, getting his assets, and even marrying the guy to really take control. It concerns me that a marriage commissioner would marry this couple, especially after hearing that Don was merely trying to avoid being placed in a care home. And no wonder the sons had Don evaluated for his capacity to marry and then took Joanne to court to void the marriage and the will change. Poor Don. It must have been so confusing for him to go through this conflict and the emotional turmoil of thinking that someone loves you and then realizing that she was just after his money. What a terrible, terrible mess, but thank goodness the judge could see through the abuser for what she really was after all was said and done, and was able to put a stop to it. Do you suppose there was any penalty that she had to pay for the abuse she took advantage of Don? If you've heard of a situation similar to this or have any thoughts on this case, please let me know in the comments section below so we can all learn more. And let's hope that marriage commissioners ask more questions before conducting a wedding and that they put a stop to these predatory marriages, because elder abuse matters. Friends, our goal here is to share abuse cases so that if you or someone you know is or has been abused, you'll know that you are not alone. While it can be therapeutic to hear others' stories, it may also be helpful for you to anonymously share your own story of abuse on this channel and help others who are listening. Just check the show notes below to find out how. And finally, to help reduce the abuse, please comment, like, and subscribe to grow the channel and raise awareness, because elder abuse matters. Please stay safe, seek help, and know that I'm praying for you.